Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Tech That Doesn't Byte Cast, episode number 9.
Yay!
Joining me, of
Number
course,
9.
is my buddy Jeff Worden.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Good to be here with you and everybody watching.
Yeah, welcome everybody. How's it going, Jeff?
It's going. It's a nice, bright, sunny day. I probably should be outside. That's probably the biggest thing. I should be outside, but I'm happy to be doing this too. Don't get me wrong. And maybe
Fine,
I'll
go outside then.
Yeah, you know what? I will. Screw this, man. I'm out of here. No, but you know what? If you got an opportunity to actually go outside, you should go outside, especially if it's a nice sunny day. I mean, it's typical LA day. It's bright and it's sunny outside, and my solar panels are working, so I'm really happy about that. So
yes, well, stop promoting your solar.
I can't help it. I'm a homeowner, man. I can't help that.
Yeah. If you guys been watching our channel, he did make a review video of solar floodlights.
I did.
I thought it rains here that often, but I don't know why.
You know what it does, but it works well enough. I can't really complain about it. And the solar panels are doing a bang up job for the house in general. I'm looking forward to seeing my first electric bill, see if it's like really low or if it's zero or something akin to that. So it'll be interesting to see what'll pop up for that. Whatever. I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you posted.
All right. Well, Jeff, why don't we get on to the first stories? And let's go on to your first story, Jeff.
All right. My first story has to do with Sony and the PlayStation. Now, if you haven't already bought one, I actually don't. No, I haven't bought one either. I've never actually bought into PlayStations myself. But apparently, at the end of the fiscal year for Sony, basically that's between January and March of this year, Sony has managed to sell 7.8 million PS5 consoles. In the period between January and March, as I mentioned, 3.3 million of them actually got moved during that time. So they were ordered, moved, and shipped out and all that good stuff. So, so this is with being coupled with some, nearly 48 million subscribers, which is almost a 15% increase from last year. So as far as I can tell, Sony is just making money hand over fist here. And according to what they say, these are record fourth quarter operating profits in the realm of 342.2 billion yen, or about 3.14 billion US dollars for fiscal year 2020. Holy crap. Yeah. So, jeez. Yeah. So like I mentioned, they had shipped somewhere in the neighborhood of about 4.5 million PS5 units at the end of 2020. This is hardly surprising given that we've been in a pandemic. We've been locked in our houses. So why not? The Nintendo Switch actually has been a big competitor for that sort of thing too. And, I got to say, while that's an impressive number, those are rookie numbers, damn it. You know why these are rookie numbers, Simon?
Why?
Do you know why? I'll tell you why. The reason these are rookie numbers, because the demand for the PS5 still hasn't been met by the supply of PS5s. There is still greater demand that is being met by Sony. So it's kind of astonishing that they haven't ramped up their production to actually try to meet this demand. So it's kind of wild. But if you're not able to either afford a PS5 or you can't get one, which apparently is still very hard to come by, as I've kind of mentioned about the supply and demand part of it. PS4s are still being manufactured and sold. Granted, for this past quarter, if I'm reading this right, a very modest 1 million units got moved for this past quarter. That's about 30% less from last year. So it's hardly surprising that there's less demand. But still, to move 1 million units in the last quarter, that's pretty cool, really, when you think about that. And of course, coupled with all this good stuff, if any of you experienced this yesterday on the 27th, if you were goofing around on your PlayStation, or if you were on the PlayStation Network as a whole, buying apps and other good stuff like that, you probably got to encounter the global outage that occurred at around 2 p.m. PST. So Simon, I know you didn't encounter this. I didn't encounter this myself, since you don't have a PlayStation, as you mentioned.
I don't have a PlayStation 5, but I have a PlayStation 3.
Were you playing around? Were you playing around with it? Were you playing around with it yesterday?
No.
Okay then. Apparently this outage actually lasted for about an hour and a half. But everyone got back online. They was having fun after all that happened. And Sony, to date, so far, has not commented or given a reason as to how or why it happened and so forth. They simply posted that it happened. They took care of it. An hour and a half later, everybody's back online, and nobody has noticed or nobody's been the wiser. Now, I have no idea what happened. If I had to speculate what happened, it almost sounds like Sony came under like a denial of service attack, and they attacked them right at their name server level. So it shut down everything that had to do with anything PlayStation or Sony in that regard. That's my take on it. I have no idea, but that's my take on it. So yeah, I was kind of astonished by the whole thing that they actually went down, like the entirety of the PlayStation Network went down for an hour and a half. That just blows my mind. Think about how much money was being lost. All that money.
Yeah, but it might be just chump change for them.
Well, for them, it probably would be. For an hour and a half, it could be.
For us.
For us, however, there'd be about a year's salary, maybe. Who knows? It's
5 years of salary.
5 years salary. Oh my God. Jeez. So yeah, that's PlayStation and the Sony network and all that. So kudos to Sony for being able to make a device that that's still is being manufactured at high volume and is trying to get met by the demand for it. So
yeah,
kudos on that.
Kudos to them. I mean, I know the PSI is very hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't keep up with gaming news because I'm not a gamer of any sorts. So
sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that.
You should socialize less and game more. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do any of those anyway. So. I don't do any of those anyway.
You can fill the void in game. I'm telling you, man.
I mean, just games aren't used to be the way that I grew up with. No, they're just completely different. So,
well, back in my day, there were board games. I was around when Monopoly was invented.
Nah, I will play that now. I will play that. I find that more interesting.
I do too.
I find that more interesting than any new games. On console.
Yeah, no, I used to play that a lot when I was a kid. I play with my kids too, board games and card games and whatnot. So we still get off the machines once in a while and play. So it's all good there.
Yeah. So I will play that anytime.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
But kudos to Sony and
their profit.
Yeah, I'm still rocking my PS3. It still works as a Blu-ray player. So
right, yeah. If it's not broken, you don't need to replace it. There you go.
Exactly.
There you go. All right, what's your assignment for the day here?
All right, our next story is the craziness going around with NFT. Now, this story just blew my mind. We all know the woman in the Disaster Girl meme, and this is the meme that they're referencing. This meme right here, everyone knows what this meme.
And for those who are
multiple times,
for those who only get the audio side of this whole thing, basically the meme you're looking at is the little girl who was smiling while her house is on fire or a house is on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that meme.
That meme right there. And Zoe Roth was 4 years old. That's the name of the girl on the picture. When her dad snapped a photo of her smirking in front of a burning house. Now, 21, she reclaimed ownership of the resulting meme. The woman featured in the popular internet meme, Disaster Girl, has reclaimed ownership over the image and made quite the profit. It's sold as a fungible?
Fungible, right, with a G.
Non-fungible token for more than $450,000.
Dang, man.
The meme itself came into existence when Zoe Roth, now 21, was merely 4 years old. Her dad snapped a photograph of her outside of a home in their North Carolina neighborhood as it burned down in 2005. Man, that's an old meme.
It is.
The resulting image, which appeared to show Roth looking upon the house as though she were responsible for the flames, ended up winning, JPEG Magazine's a motion capture contest and later made the rounds on Flickr, Zoomer, and beyond. Never heard of Zoomer.
I'm not sure what Zoomer is myself.
Roth's smirk in front of the fire has since become internet shorthand for chaos and has been shared millions of times. Knowing this, the UNC Chapel Hill senior decided to auction the image off as a non-fungible token, or NFT, after receiving an email suggesting she do so. NFTs are unique and can't be replaced with something else, The Verge explained, and can most closely be compared with a work of art or even a one-of-a-kind trading card. Most are stored on the Ethereum blockchain, essentially a digital leader for cryptocurrency.
Right.
The item's value is based on its rarity. The Disaster Girl NFT was coded so that Roth keeps the copyright, and each time it is bought, she receives 10% of the sale. Such a move puts her in control of the viral image for the first time in nearly 16 years.
Wow.
A 24-hour auction for the NFT ultimately yielded Roth nearly $458,000 or 180 ETH, which she planned to split with her family.
Dang.
Roth told Raleigh News and Observer that she specifically planned to donate her portion to nonprofits and added, "Nobody who is a meme tried to do that. It just ended up that way. Is it luck? Is it fate? I had no idea, but I will take it." Good answer.
Yeah, no, it's a good answer.
Good for you. It also donated to nonprofits as well. So
that's pretty cool.
Man,
Yeah,
it's insane.
Right. Well, it's like the Nyan cat that I talked about.
Yeah, we talked about it.
We're talking before that.
A few weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, it's the same thing. But that's almost different in that the Nyan cat being an original piece of artwork that was created. So, I mean, it's very traditional if you want to think of it that way. He was able to sell it for 300 Ethereum or however it's pronounced, which came out to like what $540,000, something akin to that. I think so.
Yeah, a lot more.
Right, something around there, and obviously this little girl, now young woman, was able to make almost $500,000, for basically the same thing, for a chance photograph, and which I'd imagine was probably fixed up a little bit so that's a very unique picture, and that's
just good timing.
That's usually how the good photographs are. That's usually how they are. Dang.
I mean, it's insane. Like NFTs are getting a lot of traction. I mean, even I don't know if the NBA officially does it, but you have the NBA Top Shot?
No.
It's kind of like it. It's similar. I think it's considered NFT. So it's like a player's gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
So NBA, let me search for that Top Shot.
All right.
It looks pretty similar, or it's a similar concept, but people could buy into it. So it is officially licensed by the NBA.
Oh, wow. Okay. So NBA
collecting like different like collections. And these are all digital stuff. So it's like it's like a marketplace that they have.
Huh.
So it's like see like this hollow of John Morant. So it's like a
oh wow.
So it's almost like it. I mean, maybe this is not really an NFT, but you're buying like something digital.
Right. Well, you're buying something digital, and it will have a unique marker to it, so that if somebody tries to duplicate it, they can actually verify its authenticity almost right away if you actually have like the blockchain that's supposed to be associated with it. Unfortunately, I'm not as savvy with NFTs as I'd like to be in terms of how they operate and so forth. I've read it and I'm just like, it'll sink in eventually. But but cryptocurrency as a whole is I think maybe a new means of copywriting and protection for a lot of unique images and artwork and films, like video clips like what the NBA is showing there. Whether it's the wave of the future, I couldn't say. It'd be interesting, but as a means of exchange, like money is, I'm not sure that'll ever get replaced, but who knows for sure. I mean, a lot of us live on plastic. We deal in plastic very, very readily and so forth. Not too big of an issue there to actually make that switch to eventually getting rid of paper money overall, and coins too, for that matter. I mean, even parking meters nowadays are actually taking credit cards. And sometimes only take credit cards if they don't take coins either. So it is possible to move to a more digital format, if you will, or to a non-paper currency format, if you want to think of it that way.
Well, some countries do that. Some countries
I'm sure they do
it very well. Here in the States, I don't know will that ever happen, because I mean, like, it's not everyone's tech savvy here.
I got that right. Otherwise, I'd have been out of a job, being a tech support agent all those years. It was like, oh no, you're not smart enough to use this. Good, I'll talk to you about it.
Like, if you go up to your ATM, you could use your phone to pull your ATM card now.
Right.
Technically, in a perfect world, everybody would be doing that.
Right.
But
Right.
most people don't
exactly.
do it. And that's why bank tellers are still there.
Yeah,
they still
but
have
they
jobs.
they have been automating a lot of that though. I could tell you for personal
They
experience.
have, but there's always going to be a need for an actual person to help you.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, in our world,
for
where
now,
we live at least.
Yeah, for now. Yeah, I would imagine probably in maybe probably a couple of generations, if not maybe a third generation, within 100 years, that actually might be removed. But it depends on how good the AI is and a whole slew of other factors that go with it. And do we really want to say hello to our new robot overlords? I don't know. I might not be around for that, and that's okay. I don't know.
That's their problem in the future.
It's going to be somebody else's problem. Exactly.
All right, let's move on to our next story.
All right. What is our next story, Simon? Do tell.
It'll be your story, Jeff.
Are you sure? Because mine's more open discussion, so we could probably go with yours instead.
All right. Let's talk about the somewhat related to Fortnite.
Not the Fortnite stuff.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in that, you could definitely read their ongoing lawsuits. But this is kind of part of it. It's like an argument case. Like, oh, they did this, they did that. So this is one for you iMessage fans. Who wanted to move to Android. Well, Eddie Q wanted to bring iMessage to Android in 2013.
Oh.
Eddie Q pushed to bring iMessage to Android as of early as 2013, according to a new deposition made public as part of the Epic case. Currently, Apple's senior VP of software and services, Q wanted to devote a full-time iMessage support on Android, only to be overruled by other executives. The line of questioning is likely to play a significant role in Epic's antitrust lawsuit, which argues that iOS App Store exclusively represents an illegal use of market power. Epic has made it clear in previous filings that it plans to make iMessage exclusivity part of that argument, citing a 2016 email from Phil Schiller that argues iMessage expansion will hurt us more than it help us. The latest deposition cites a specific email exchange between Q and Craig Federighi, currently Apple's senior vice president of software engineering, beginning on April 7th and April 8th, 2013. The exchange came after news circulated that Google had attempted to purchase WhatsApp for $1 billion. Really? I did not know that.
God, yeah.
According to the exchange, Q took the rumors as a sign that iMessage should expand to Android to cement Apple's hold on messaging app. And then it shows this little email message that you guys can read. So I could read one part, and Jeff, you reenact this part right here.
Okay.
So we really need to bring iMessage to Android. I have a couple of people investigating this, but we should go full speed and make this an official project. Do you want to lose one of the most important apps in the mobile environment to Google? They have search, mail, free video, and growing quickly in browsers. We have the best messaging app, and we should make it the industry standard. I don't know what ways we can monetize it, but it doesn't cost us a lot to run.
Do you have any thoughts on how we could make switching to iMessage from WhatsApp compelling to masses of Android users who don't have a bunch of iOS friends? iMessage is a nice app/service, but to get users to switch social networks, we need more than a marginally better app. This is why Google was willing to pay $1 billion for the network, not for the app. In the absence of a strategy to become the primary messaging service for the bulk of cell phone users, I'm concerned that iMessage on Android would simply serve to remove an obstacle to iPhone families giving their kids Android's phones.
So that was our little email reenactment.
Thank you.
End scene. Elsewhere in the deposition, Q says, I remember the time of wanting to do an iMessage app on Android ourselves. Would there have been a cross compatibility with the iOS platform so that users of both platforms would have been able to exchange messages? The questioner responds. That was certainly the discussion and the view that I had. Q's argument with Federighi mirrors earlier confusion over FaceTime, which Steve Jobs initially pledged to make available as an open standard, but ultimately restricted to iOS devices. iMessage availability has been particularly sore point in the rivalry between Android and iOS, with iMessage's green bubbles attaching significant social stigma to Android phones. 8 years later, it seems unlikely that iMessage will ever come to Android. But another passage in the deposition suggests Q still isn't entirely won over by Federighi's case. Do you believe that not having iMessage on Android has created an obstacle to families giving their kids Android phones? The questioners asked Q in the deposition. No, not at all, Q replies. The following is reproduced in full below. So this is a giant, long 123 deposition document that you guys are more than welcome to read.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to read. I'm not going to read that.
Yeah,
but
I'm not going to
dang.
read. I'm not going to reenact a Law and Order style epic lawsuit deposition. All right.
We'll need to use as monotone a voice as possible because I'm sure it'll be just that exciting to read.
Yeah. So what do you think, man? I mean, could have iMessage. We could have iMessage on Android, but
true. But the reaction for Apple to not do that is hardly surprising, given that they've always been a closed system thinker. So the fact that they do it this way is hardly surprising. This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody in the scheme of things. Now,
it shouldn't be surprising, but it's disappointing to hear.
Arguably, that's true. To not have iMessage available on pretty much any device you can get your hands on, be it Apple, Android, or otherwise. I mean, honestly, it would have been a boon, and I think in a lot of ways, for Apple to have done that. And it basically had the market share on messaging apps.
Yeah.
And but there's a valid point that it might promote the purchase of Androids and whatnot. But if you're loyal to Apple, to the Apple products, and Simon, I'm going to look at you funny for this one, you're going to buy Apple stuff, and that's cool. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. I, on the other hand, buy Android stuff. I prefer the open system. I like being able to plug in and get to the file nitty gritty stuff. I like doing that. I don't know if you could necessarily do that with an Apple, but if you don't have like a file manager type of setup, you might not be able to get to those things, and that could be a problem, maybe or maybe not. But yeah, my take on it is I think Apple maybe did miss an opportunity here, because I think people are fairly brand loyal to what they use. Now, that's not to say that it can't switch, that it can't, switch around. There's always a gray area of people who are in the, well, I'm not sure what kind of, device I should get, be it a, iPhone or a Samsung or whatever. But it boils down to preference. I mean, my own kids, they've got iPhones. They're real happy with it. My wife does, and they'll probably stick with it, and I'm totally fine with that. My younger one was actually thinking of switching. I don't want to switch, and I'm pretty sure I won't. And it's not because I have any kind of dislike for Apple. I just don't want to use their stuff. I like Samsung. I like what it offers, and I'm totally okay with it. And it works out great. I had zero issues with it. So,
yeah. Well, I think for me, it's a good opportunity. I think it wouldn't, I'm just speaking on personal, experience with it. Like, I have an Android phone too. And it would be great if I could have iMessage on Android, so I could maybe one day, I'm gonna put my iPhone away for today. I want to use my Android phone. I go out, no problem with it. I still get my messages. Right. I have to worry about, oh man, this person messaged me on that other phone instead of that other phone. So I'm someone who likes to play with different brands of devices.
That is true. Given that you test a lot of stuff, that certainly makes sense. You actually have that flexibility. A lot of people, I think, kind of lack that flexibility, so they stick with one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other. So, but I also think that, given that, from our experience going out and seeing what people use when they take out their phones and stuff like that, most of the time I see more iPhones than actual Androids. That's in my experience.
Right.
So, maybe once in a while, I'll see someone using a Samsung. I'm assuming it's a Samsung.
Probably
could be. I don't see anyone using Pixels, unfortunately, even though that's probably the best Android phone out there. But most of the time, I see people use iPhones.
Right.
And
Well, but when it comes to phones, it's also a matter of like, what you're going to use it for. If you just need a phone that you make phone calls with, you don't need the latest and greatest, bleeding edge technology of any kind of phone. You just need something that's going to work.
that's
So
true.
yeah, no,
So
I get
people got the cheapest iPhone.
Right. Right. And on top of that, I mean, it's also a matter of what they're used to using and whatnot. I know one individual, she's used a lot of Google device. I don't want to say Google devices of Android type devices that use Chrome, using all this other stuff. So she has that familiarity with using the Samsung Android platform. So when she finally got an actual smartphone, she'd been using a flip phone for years. When she finally got a smartphone, because the flip phone wouldn't charge anymore, she was able to adapt reasonably well to the phone, and she was able to she was able to figure it out. So
But
as opposed to like going to an iPhone, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, which could have a bigger learning curve.
the thing is, like with iPhone, like it seems like, oh, you won't get the end. What I'm trying to say is that if iMessage was on Android, it would have been a great feature, and Apple could easily monetize this, like make it a paid app. People will pay it for it, just
maybe
because iPhone users, at least here in the States, I don't know about other countries. I know other countries, they're really reliant on WhatsApp. I know Japan uses Line, messaging apps, Signal. But here in the States, everyone uses iPhone users. Most of them use iMessage. So, if I switch my phone to an Android and I can pay like, let's say Apple charge $10 for iMessage. Right.
Sure.
I'll pay for it just so I could keep in touch with everyone else that's on an iPhone.
Right.
So
that's what's
one small price to pay rather than having to fork out buying iPhones. But the matter of fact is, I don't think it will hurt iPhone sales because people are still going to buy iPhones.
Yeah,
people are still going to buy it.
Yeah, I think you and I are on the same page.
The fact that the marketing from Apple is much better than any Android phone manufacturers.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. They do kind of push that way.
I see more iPhone ads than Samsung ads.
Yeah, that's generally true.
Yeah, so,
I'm inclined to agree with you about that. Or at least they certainly push Apple as a brand. You don't need
remember one phone manufacturer is leaving the business. Remember LG?
Right.
Because they couldn't market that well.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's just bad business practice. We want to get into that part. Yeah, no, that's a very good point. But my only counterpoint is,
and I don't think there's the learning curve, but a lot of the Google stuff, because you could get on iOS, you could download Chrome for iOS.
Right.
It's there. Google Drive, Google Maps. Definitely use Google Maps, not Apple Maps, because that's crap.
Good to know. Right? Yeah, right. Let's hope they fix that for your sake.
No, I don't think they'll ever fix that.
Yeah, you may be right. Yeah,
just stick with Google or Waze. All right.
Right. My counterpoint though is that regardless of the device that you're using, whether it's an Apple, whether it's Android, you could still always text somebody with an iPhone. You could always text their messenger. The text
not a good experience. It's going to default. It defaults to SMS. Not a good experience.
Well, again, that it's a matter of what your needs are, or if you actually care. See, that's even the other part of it. If you don't really care, if your texts get through, that's all that really matters.
It depends what kind of things you're sending. If you're sending like just a regular text, like "Hello, what's going on?" like just words, that's fine. But nowadays, people send videos, pictures, and those are high. No, those file sizes are big, and SMS can't handle that. They have to compress the quality down, and then you look at your videos like little block size. Not iMessage.
That is true. Well, that's true, but again, it depends.
Or any other the messaging apps out there.
Yeah, no, I think that also depends on what they are. I mean, I text pictures and video to my wife a lot. Whether they're like reaction gifs or just some weird clip I found or whatever. Maybe I just took a picture of myself and send it to her, whatever it is, and it comes up fine for her. Arguably, her pictures, at least as far as I'm concerned, iPhone pictures are usually superior to the Samsung ones. I will grant that.
Try sending a big video, something you recorded from your phone.
Yeah.
One day.
All right.
Like you're.
I do video auditions, so I can certainly send something along. I've been kind of
set your phone the highest video recording quality and try to send that over SMS and tell me how, and then ask that person on the other end. It's like, watch the video and see how it looks.
Okay. All right. No, you know what? I'm kind of curious to try that now.
Give it a shot.
All
Let me
right,
tell you, it's
all
not a
right.
good experience.
I'm sure it probably isn't.
You know, it's not a good
That's
ex-
horrible, I tell you. See,
Yeah.
that's why you post that to social media so everybody can access it that way. And it comes out better. But whatever.
Yeah, but not everyone want to post everything on social media.
It depends on the person. If you're Kim Kardashian, it's everything. If it's you and I mean, nobody wants to see that.
No, like I have friends on WhatsApp because they're using Android.
Right.
Okay. I have another friend that's on Signal.
Right,
So like
right.
I have two messaging apps, and again, messaging right now in the mobile world, it's a giant mess.
Right.
Because there's just too many of them. There's no one singular format that we can all rely on.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, I know that's a good point. Well, it's competitive
it's
to say the
mess.
least. So yeah. But as long as they're all free, though, that's actually probably part of the other thing too. So why would somebody want to pay for a messaging app? Granted, I get your argument about it, but if there's so many free options out there, why pay for one? Where you can say, hey, I got all, hey, you can tell all your friends, hey, I'm on WhatsApp, man. Let's all just, chat that way.
Yeah, but now I'm about to download all 50 free apps on your phone. It's like, which one you're at? I'm on WhatsApp. You're on WeChat. You're on Signal. You're on this
right,
one.
Yeah. No, and that's a good point.
I hate all of you. I hate all of you.
Knock it off, you guys. I can't fit it all on my phone.
I don't want to be your friends anymore. You guys have too many freaking different messaging apps.
Stop sending me crap. Yeah, no, I get it. No, I totally get that. All right, no, that's what we'll have to follow and see if maybe Epic actually touches on that and maybe either fixes it or it gets rectified, or if it just gets becomes dust in the wind. Who knows? We'll have to see about that.
Who knows?
We'll have to see.
Who knows?
All right. Last story, I suppose. Last story.
The
best antivirus software for 2021 for Windows 10 machines. Now, courtesy of CNET. They actually had, I came across this list of what the best antivirus programs were. So as you, for those of you who are watching this, you can certainly see this, and I'll rattle them off as I kind of go here as Simon and I will talk about it. I was a little surprised personally that the best free Windows antivirus is Microsoft Defender. Now, yes, and that was pretty much my reaction, was like, what? And then I started laughing. And now if you're not sure, this used to be called Windows Defender. I actually had to look into that a little bit. It used to be called Windows Defender.
It was even called something way before that.
Yeah, it was called crap.
They bought out some company. I forgot what the original company was, but they bought it and they just implemented it.
Oh yeah,
into Windows.
Oh yeah, and that's actually the thing about it is that this is
keep talking. Let me look for it.
This is the default antivirus program that comes with Windows when you buy a new machine or you buy Windows. This is the default that it comes with, which, if for anybody who's ever dealt with Windows over the years like I have, that should immediately make it suspect. Just leave it at that. And arguably, it's just like, okay, well, you've got Explorer on there, and that's the default browser, which everybody uses to download Firefox or Chrome or whatever else, so they don't have to use Internet Explorer, excuse me. So I was just very surprised that the best free Windows antivirus per CNET is Microsoft Defender. Now, I personally have never used it, so I actually can't say whether it's good or bad. But I did come across a website, av-test.org, and we'll bring that up in a moment here. In terms of and they actually do tests on different antivirus software on different platforms for the Mac and for Android. And I was surprised that when I went to this website that their latest test in February actually showed that Microsoft Defender kicked butt and took names. I was shocked by that. So there may be something to this, and so that might be worth looking into if you want to look into that. So moving on from that, apparently the best antivirus subscription software for Windows is the Norton 360 with LifeLock Select. Now, I personally have had limited experience with Norton. I think I used them like a bunch of years back around the time they first came out, and they were pretty good. I didn't have any really major complaints with it, but I haven't really used them that much. Simon, have you used it yourself, Norton, or any of its incarnations?
Oh gosh, a long time ago.
Right. Okay. So you and I are the same.
When I was using Windows 2000 or Windows XP.
2000, okay. I was thinking maybe 95. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So and again, CNET says it's the best. And I was shocked that even av-test.org thought they were pretty good too. I was actually really surprised by that. Now, the LifeLock Select option, for those who aren't familiar with that, that's basically where they offer, as part of the pricing service, that you get LifeLock as part of that. But I think that eventually gets billed as a separate service. Yeah. I have LifeLock myself as a separate service because we needed it. We had identity theft, all sorts of crap go on. It is absolutely worth its weight in gold. So if you don't have it, you should probably think about getting it. So I want to give a big shout out to LifeLock on that one.
This stream is not sponsored by Norton.
No, they're not. But guys, I wish they would. Jeez, that'd be great. Oh, you spoke highly of LifeLock. We'll give you some money. Here's $1. Oh, God, thank you so much. So, all right. So moving on from that, the best free antivirus alternative for Windows, I like how they phrase that, the antivirus alternative, Bitdefender Antivirus Free Edition. Now, I've never used Bitdefender. I have no idea if it's actually any good and whatnot. Have you ever used it yourself? Or
not Bitdefender, but I heard about it before.
Yeah, I hear fair things about it. I would imagine it's pretty good. And AV-Test actually gave it real high marks as well. So if anybody's used Bitdefender, I'd love to hear any kind of feedback you have about it and go from there. Now, this one doesn't surprise me in and of itself. So I was actually real happy about this one myself. What's that?
Which one you're?
I was going down to the next one. I was going to the next one. The best on-demand Windows malware removal, Malwarebytes.
Yeah.
Now I have nothing but nice things to actually say about Malwarebytes itself. And I used it, probably 10 plus years ago, a little longer, maybe.
Still pretty good. I've used it recently, not too long ago. So.
I still have it installed on my computer for, God forbid that something go horribly wrong, but I have like other antivirus programs on there. So I got a few things running in the event that something horrible goes wrong. But Malwarebytes, boy, that saved my butt when I had caught a virus and I was able to get it removed, get it in there and fix things up. It was really great. I was real happy about that. So I got nothing but nice things to actually say about Malwarebytes. Granted, this is 10 odd years ago plus longer. And again, AV-Test gave it high marks. It did really well for itself. So zang to that. The funny part about Malwarebytes, though, is that I needed it to not so much for the other virus incidents, but I actually needed it for the next program I'm going to talk about. Apparently, CNET rated a solid subscription antivirus alternative, the McAfee Total Protection. Now, have you used McAfee before, Simon, yourself? Have you?
No. Back then, it wasn't. It was probably one of the ones that everyone says to avoid. That's what I remember.
Okay, I've used McAfee. Bloated. Yeah, it is a massive piece of bloatware. Now maybe this has changed, but when they first came out, they were the one to use, and they were good. They were really were. But I think that was also a simpler time where there was just viruses that you could just eliminate, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Right.
Over the years, and based on my experience, and even my wife will also attest to this as well, if God forbid that you installed a piece of software that came with McAfee as a partner or some crap like that, you would be so screwed in trying to get McAfee removed from your computer. It was that bad. You needed an antivirus crowbar to yank that crap out just so that you could clean your machine again. That's how bad it was. And it's bloatware. It was something in the neighborhood of like 300 odd megs or more. I mean, if I'm remembering it right, it's been a while because I haven't played with that stuff in so long that when the last time
it's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, the last time I'd used it, it was awful. And when it installed, you had to go in and do registry fixes. You had to use Malwarebytes to remove it. Really, it was bad. So I like swore off the stuff. Same thing happened with my wife. She swore off it, and we've never returned to McAfee since. And I'm trying to remember, how are they rated now? Let me take a quick gander here. Let's see, McAfee also got high marks as one of the better software out there. So maybe they've slimmed down. Maybe they're not, behaving in a bloatware sort of manner. Whatever it might be. But God, I just remember just how horrific it was to sell the fact, What do you mean McAfee's installing my computer? Crap! Now I gotta spend the next 2 hours removing it. I mean, it was so
I gotta look
bad.
for it, remove it.
Right? Oh my god, it was so awful. Oh my god, yeah. So I tried not to like have awful flashbacks about that one. So, all right, yeah, right. No, it totally is. Okay, so another good subscription option, according to CNET, Trend Micro. Personally, I've never used them myself. But I do hear pretty good things about them, so I know that they're definitely one of the upper echelon of antivirus software. Have you ever dabbled in them yourself, Simon, or have you ever? I know you
long time ago. Micro.
Oh yeah, were they good? Was it a good experience for you?
It was okay.
Don't strain yourself on the details there.
No, it was okay. I mean, this is like 10 plus years ago, so I don't remember.
But if it did the job,
they could have changed so much. I won't even recognize it. So
yeah. So Trend Micro is definitely one of the names that have been around a good long time, and they definitely have managed to keep their market share. So they're still upgrading and still doing all right. So I imagine that their software is still pretty good. I believe they actually got pretty good high marks on the avtest.org site as well, which is probably where CNET got this information, because I doubt they did their own testing. I could be wrong. I may be way off on that one, but avtest.org, they obviously test this stuff like literally every 3 months. They test it. They have like archive data and all their stuff. So I will take AV-Test's word for what they say about it and whatnot. Although there's a really funny one about Google Protect Plan or whatever. It's really hysterical. I'll touch on it in a second there. All right. Second to last item here, worthwhile subscription alternative. Now, I like worthwhile. That's a great word. Like, oh, this is a worthwhile one. If you really don't feel like spending money on the other ones, that's the best, or a solid one. Worthwhile is third in line here. Here's the bronze medal, I guess. I don't know. It's one called ESET Nod 32 Antivirus. I have never heard of ESET or ESET.
I heard of it.
Or how it's even pronounced. Have you've played with it before? Or?
Nod 32? Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
It's okay. I mean, what to say? I mean,
that all you get? Well, I don't know. I mean, do you remember
when I used a Windows computer, I never really got Windows virus.
Okay.
So it's like it's there. What do you want me to do? I mean, you want me to purposely get a virus just to see if it works? No.
Well, that's what AV-Test does.
I'm not AV-Test. We're TechThatDoesn'tByte.
That is also true. That is also true. All right. Well, the last but not least, the alternative free Windows antivirus, Sophos Home. Now, the only experience I've had with it would have been within the last 7 years, maybe a little longer than that, when you and I were working at the web hosting company. When we all had Macintoshes and whatnot, that was the antivirus program you used.
Yep.
Was Sophos, so I kept thinking that it was strictly that was more of a Mac antivirus software. Seemed to work well enough for what it is. I didn't know they had a Windows version, or that they actually went on Android too, I think, as well. So I'm like, oh, well, isn't this nice? So I was actually surprised that Mac actually had antivirus software, because nobody ever attacked Macs with viruses. Or at least as a Windows guy, that was always the big rumor. It's like, well, yeah, Macs, because they're not as prevalent in the market, nobody attacks them with viruses. Right. When that was kind of the market, and it worked well enough. But yeah, Macs get viruses, and thus Sophos, was there. So, I mean, what's been your experience with Sophos?
I use Sophos. There's sometimes I really like how Sophos used to be a client that's install your computer and then you could control it on your computer. But they moved on to this web-based control that in order to kind of control it, you have to make an account on their website, and it's like web-based.
Right.
And I don't like that. I like how it used to be. You install it, the client's right there on your computer, and on that computer only. I have to go on sophos.com, log in, and then manage your stuff. I don't like that.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to point out one that actually got me laughing really hard, and it's so awful. All right. So are you at the avtest.org site right now? All right. I can't see. I'm not looking at this.
I'm not.
Let's pull it up. Let's pull that up real quick here.
What's the website?
av-test.org.
avtest.org?
It's just av-test.org.
Okay.
All right. Now, when you see like the header come up, you'll see like about the Institute news and then tests. I'm assuming that's what you'll see.
Let me share my screen. That will help.
Yeah, there you go. All right, now if you mouse over on tests, you want to click on the test for the home users, then select Android, the Android antivirus, the first one there. You're going to get yourself a good laugh on this one. Okay. Now, once this comes up, I want you to scroll down. I want you to look at the results. What's the one thing that strikes you? What sticks out when you look at them?
What sticks out?
What sticks out? Look at the results and what sticks out.
Like protection?
Yeah. Okay. So if you look at Google Play Protect, what do you notice about it?
Google Play 0.
Right. It's got zeros there. All right. So for those who can't see what's actually here, I'll describe it. Basically, there are 3 categories that AV Test uses to basically grade on a scale of 0 to 6 for an antivirus program. It uses protection, performance, and usability. Now, pretty much everything that is listed here, there's like 21 antivirus programs. Sadly, Sophos isn't listed on here. At least this is the Android stuff, but Sophos actually stopped getting listed after a while for Windows. I was surprised to discover that the Google Play Protect antivirus program scored a 0 for protection and a 0 for usability, but it did score a 6 on the performance scale. And the performance scale, as I tend to kind of understand what it actually means, it means that that when the program loads, that it doesn't detract from the overall performance of the computer. There's an industry standard of slowing that is used when the program is activated, and I guess it scores well in to that range or better. That's why it has a 6. But if you wanted to protect your phone, you wanted to have it be usable and whatnot, and finding false positives and crap like that, that is not the program to use. And here's what's so awful about it. As near as I could tell, they've been testing this program since September of 2017. So this program, which has been around for almost 5 years now, 4.5, 5 years, they haven't improved it so that it does well in the other categories, just like all the other AVs, all the other antivirus programs have. So I thought you'd get a kick out of that. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Jeez.
So yeah. So that was a fun little diamond in the rough I got to find when I looked this stuff up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, but I'm sad to say though that in that list of antivirus programs on the Windows 10 side of things, there, I was sad to see that Viper actually ranked near the bottom or third from the bottom in terms of being a good program. That's actually what I use, and I've been using it for a bunch of years, and they've been really great. They got a good community, and they always keep their definitions updated and whatnot to kind of keep things on the clean and whatnot. And they're really good. So I have nothing but nice things to say about them. They haven't slowed down my computer. They don't get in the way of anything, and I couldn't be happier with them. But a few years ago, I can tell you when I first purchased it a bunch of years back, they were lickety split real fast, real high on the, hey, we're new to the market and we're really fast, and were, I don't know. So I'm wondering if they probably need to improve a few things on their programming to help up their stats a little bit, but by comparison of Microsoft Defender. But see again, that was my reaction. But so there you have it, the best and not so good and the worst of antivirus programs for the Windows 10 machine and one for the Android.
Oh man.
So yeah, I was mildly surprised by the Android one, but I thought you'd get a kick out of that too, just because.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty funny and pretty sad at the same time.
Right. That's exactly what it is. It's pretty sad is what it is. It's pretty funny and it's pretty sad.
Sad at the same time.
There you go. And that's all I've got for my articles here today. And
that's all we got today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for watching and listening. If you guys are watching, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Leave a comment.
Subscribe.
Hit that bell notification so you get notified when we go live, when we got new videos. If you're listening to us on podcast, thank you so much. leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. Check out our website, TechThatDoesn'tByte.com. Byte is spelled with a BYTE.
Yep. And if you have a podcast service that we are not on, please let us know. We'd be happy to get ourselves on there and spread ourselves like a virus, because that's what we want to do.
Yep. After that, go ahead and install the best antivirus
because of that,
on your computer and your phone. Jeff is the virus.
Exactly. Yes, I am.
All right, everybody. Until next time, keep an eye on our channel. We have more videos coming up. Should be some this week and probably next week as well.
So we hope soon enough.
Very soon.
For sure.
Please be patient with our reviews. We are a 2-man operation.
It's just us, man. It's just us.
us.
Oh God, we're so lonely.
Really old computers.
Hey, now it's not that old. Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's old, right?
Yeah, I know it is.
Right.
I
so, yeah, but we'll have some new videos for you guys.
Absolutely.
Until next time, everyone, take care of yourself. Have a great day. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Bye-bye.